they envy humans who have this creative imagination, this ability to create. Like I say, they describe the Archons as cyborgs, a robotic race that can imitate but not innovate. They call it, in a translated word, counter-mimicry. Put simply, if you gave them a blank sheet of paper, they would know what to do with it. But you give them a sheet of paper rather with something on it, with something created on it, and they are able to distort it and twist it. But they can mimic and imitate, they cannot create in that sense. Interestingly, they also use the word fantasia. And in that sense, what they're saying is that these Archons, jinn, different names, but I'll use the word Archon as a consistent, have the ability to create fake realities, to distort reality, counter-mimicry, to give people the view or the feeling of a perception that seems real but isn't. Mind parasites, they possess the mind and influence the mind in a negative way, particularly in a negatively emotional way. The one word they say that can absolutely describe the Archons is deception. And also they say that one of their great means of operation, modus operandi, is to invert everything. That's what they're doing, counter-mimicry. They are inverting what is already created so it becomes something else. And it's no accident that one of the great forces that worship these Archons within human society, what we call Satanism, use inversion as part of its symbolism. The inverted cross, the inverted five-pointed star. And so I've used this quote before in talks, and from this archontic perception, it becomes even more relevant. Michael Elner, who said, just look at us. Everything is backwards. Everything is upside down. Doctors destroy health. Lawyers destroy justice. Universities destroy knowledge. Governments destroy freedom. The major media destroy information. And religions destroy spirituality. Everything inverted. This is classic. Politicians, knowingly, some of them, most of them unknowingly, that are promoters and pushers of the archontic agenda, they are famous for bloody lying, inversion of truth. This is a quote from the English writer Noel Coward, who said, quite rightly, it is discouraging to think how many people are shocked by honesty and how few by deceit. Such is the level of deceit in our society. One word to describe the archontic influence: deception. So this force I talked about earlier that operates behind the crazes in politics and banking and business and media ownership and all the other stuff is this archontic force, which takes many expressions, as I'll come to. And this is absolutely, massively significant. The Gnostics talk about something called hell in relation to these archontic manipulators, and hell means, in our translation, simulation of a virtual reality. A reality that appears real to the decoder, but is not actually real. It's a fake reality. And given what I've been talking about for a few years now, the Gnostic texts describe reptilian entities in relation to being an expression of this archontic force, and 1,600 bloody years ago, they described grey entities, and they describe them as being expressions of the Archons, and they say these grey entities are like an unformed baby or a fetus with grey skin and dark, unmoving eyes. They were around thousands of years ago. We think they're a modern phenomenon. No, this manipulation has been going on for a fantastic amount of what we call time. I said to them, were there weapons of mass destruction in Iraq? They said, well, no. I said, so we were lied to, right, about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq to justify a catastrophic war and the catastrophe that's followed? Well, yeah. I said, the very same people
not just the same agencies, the very same people that told you the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq to justify a catastrophic war were exactly the same people that told you the official story of 9/11. And so we have and their jaws started, well, actually, that's true. But they hadn't thought about it. And it's this journalistic schizophrenia. And let's look at where that's come from. No weapons of mass destruction now in Iraq is a gimme. Why? Because there were no weapons of mass destruction. But the official story of 9/11 is still the one they take, because unless evidence like weapons of mass destruction not being there comes to light, all that mainstream journalism does basically is take the official story of everything and just repeat it. They're not journalists, they are public relations officers for the official version.
Isn't it their job actually to question the official stories of anything?
Well, exactly. I mean,
shouldn't this be their job?
The point is that the alternative media, people like you and me and others, have emerged to fill a void. And that void is in people doing what you're saying, questioning the official version of reality, and the official version of world events. And if you question them and what is said by officialdom stands up, fair enough. But often, almost all the time, it doesn't, and the mainstream media doesn't do that immediate questioning. So we're talking about perception manipulation. One of the great, most profound and constantly used perception manipulation, communally in the world, is something I call problem, reaction, solution, where you want to change society in a certain way, and you know that if you openly announce this is what we're going to do, you're going to get a resistance and a reaction against it. So you don't openly do it. You play problem, reaction, solution. The 33rd degree of Freemasonry has a Latin motto, ordo ab chaos, order out of chaos. And so problem, reaction, solution is another way of saying that. You create the chaos, you create the problem covertly, you blame someone or something else for it. You then tell, and this is the point, you then tell the public through an unquestioning media the version of that problem that you want them to believe, even though it's a lie. And then you want the reaction from the public that says, you have fear, you say, this can't go on, something must be done, do something. And then those who've covertly created the problem and blame someone else got the reaction, either do something or people open to something being done, then offer the solutions to the problems that they have covertly created, which advances this agenda of further human control. And they are often overwhelmingly solutions and changes that would never have been accepted by the public without the initial covert problem. Now, what's the antidote to that? Well, there's two things. There's the antidote from the public, which says a simple question: who benefits? Who benefits from me believing the official version of this event?